but one should be mindful of how you can injure someone who has such on one hand, it is such a wonderful aspiration, such a tender heart, such a reaching for goodness, but it's in a somewhat unbalanced way, So then when reality strikes about how something is, like it's hard, they can't take it. It's hard to take. Mm. So while one has a mode for things, grasping for things, the other has a mode and an interest around embellishing good virtues. Yeah. So they're not like this. They're like this. And it's just a matter, the one who is greedy beginning to meditate and reflect on uh, on the qualities of virtue, of being a good student of the Dhamma, of learning how to cherish oneself and cherish others, of how to be helpful in the world. As they start to train their mind to look at and investigate these things, their mind will shift and they'll move from being greedy and having the selfishness for outer things. They can transfer that to the cultivation of more useful modes of thinking, right, and expression. Just changing what their interest is. Yeah. And so, okay, of a greedy temperament, I know. I like nice things. That's it. And in this way, we can, even when we don't have something nice, that's cultivating, practicing, um, uh, developing fewness of wishes, you know. And that's how we work on these things. But we need to know what we need to know. We need to know where to tap. And it's important because when we sit, what we are beset by is what shows up in our meditation. Our mind just traipses off to where it always goes. So then there's the one of a speculative and delusional temperament. So a delusional temperament is where one is not exercising or putting forth enough, or can't put forth enough effort to know where they stand or make a decision about what they want. So they just kind of defer. For some, it's like a type of laziness, a type of just like, where do you want to go for dinner? Oh, wherever you want to go. What do you want? What movie you want to see? Whatever one you want to see. Do you want to go here or there? Oh, whichever place you want to go. I mean, can you make a decision? Just choose something. Just choose. And we know some people who are like that. They just either through training, like they were shut down every time they tried, to voice an opinion, or they were criticized, or the action they took, they were rejected in it. So they like just pull back and they won't venture forward, sometimes out of fear of rejection, sometimes out of the just the surrender, I won't make waves. I won't, I just want people to like me. I just want to get along. I just, but have just relinquished their personal power of choice or of assessing and coming to a conclusion about something. It can be popular. It can be unpopular. So all of the fears that go with making a decision. Not having confidence that they can make the right decision. Not having the capacity or the willingness to really analyze something and think it through and come up with a reasonable conclusion from one's own side. And so when I encounter a person like that, the training is to not make decisions for them. The training is to say, you decide, you tell me here and now, what is it that you want to do? It's just really getting them used to being responsible for themselves. Some have never really even had to be. They had a mother who did everything for them. Then they got a wife who did everything for them. And then when she left, they got a girlfriend who did everything for them, or a boyfriend. Or they surround themselves with friends who can make all the decisions, so they don't have to, give. They don't have to work it out. They don't have to use their own factors. They don't have to go out on a ledge. They just leave it up to somebody else, And then, of course, one of a speculative temperament is the one who's constantly, hatching plans. They say hatching plans at night and putting them into effect in the morning. Now, I think everybody knows what kind of temperament I have. And that's the one that seems the most predominant. But by the same token, I'm one who's able to go very still so that the plan I hatch has a good chance of success. And it is what's being called for beyond my personal preference. But it took developing the other end to come to the middle. It took being able to get still enough to hear the voice of wisdom, to know whether to move forward or not, and then to be able to do it with confidence because, it wasn't my idea even, or my plan. I had another plan, or I was happy like I was, and then I get this job, and to just do it cheerfully, something like that. So it doesn't mean that any one of them cannot be easily, that's the word I wanted, easily balanced. That's why we don't have to worry so much if we have a temperament that needs some adjusting. We can just work at it. It's like no big deal for the Dharma. No big deal. And so when we sit in meditation and we begin to know ourselves, and we have to be healthy to be able to go further. Okay? So he says that there are different meditation objects and subjects for these different personality types. But one that is suitable for all personality types is mindfulness of breathing. Now when he talks about the four foundations, body is body, feeling is feeling, consciousness is consciousness, and mind, objects is mind, objects. It's a whole big long thing of what you have to do, like head, just looking at every part of the body, like head hairs, body hairs, teeth, like you could break your body down into 1,000 parts, so you could do that whole long thing or you can use the breath. The breath as a type of body, he said. And when you're inhaling and exhaling and you have focused your attention in one spot and you're breathing, you're experiencing the sensations, feeling, and that satisfies. Feeling is feeling. When you are analyzing the breath, this is a long breath, this is a short breath, this is a coarse breath, this is a smooth breath. You're engaging the mind and mind objects, the thoughts about it. It's the applied and sustained thought. And it satisfies the condition. So he said, just breathe. I mean, like, so he gave you the long way and he gave you the hack. So that's why when we're in a group, generally, we do this. Of course, if it's a group where maybe we need to work with the state of mind, because if you're like having like a blah day, you know, like your energy might be down here, then your thinking is kind of down here, then maybe there's something else. There's no point in going into mindfulness of breathing because you're like in a low place. So he says then maybe for that you might arouse some energy and heighten the mind. He said for that then meditate on the four Brahma Viharas or any one of them. For instance, if you have something's happening and like this cruel streak is like prominent in your thoughts, you know. And I tell you, like, particularly jealousy and envy inure to cruelty. I mean really cruelty. I think even more than hating somebody. You know, you can just hate somebody, you just want them to be gone. You know, but when you're jealous of someone or you know, or you have envy, there's this bit that wants to like actually be cruel. And so he says takes meditation on compassion to erase that. So we may have our normal meditation object, and it could be the breath. But on those particular times when the mind is, you know, marred in some type of real mental dysfunction, then for that time switch to the object that helps to neutralize that. Now he gives us in his advice to Rahula, remember this is one incident speaking to one person, but it's something that's useful. On one time he says it's 3 steps to this. On another he says it's 8 steps. On another he says it's 4 steps. You know, so we don't have to get in an argument about this comes first, this comes second, this comes third, and you have to do it in this order or it's not going to work. It's not like that. But he shows us how flexible we are. It's about knowing what I need at this time. I need to know what I need at this time, at this particular time. And when I know that, I am free to go off. I don't need a teacher. I am free to go off and begin to investigate and set myself aright once I've gotten to the place that I can detect what I need at any given time. He speaks of, and I never hear anybody speaking in the West, of the recollection of deities. Now, we like to talk about all kinds of psychology and all of that. But he talks about, you know, the recollection of deities as a powerful antidote for a lot of what ails us. And if you haven't met any, no harm, no foul. You know, those who have told us about some and told us about their qualities. The same ones whose instructions we're following on everything else until they get right there. Okay, I guess when you get right there, like you just left, you just lost me. You know, because it's outside of our direct experience. But we have to be courageous and fearless to approach the boundary of the unknown. Otherwise, we'll just have more of what we already have. And if that's enough, then don't do this. Don't do this practice. Forget about it. Just go live large. Enjoy your life because you got what you want. But if you're looking for something you have not yet apprehended, then you have to be flexible enough, to put something to the test, to see, to be open, and then you can know directly. And what you know directly, I'm not saying you even have to have faith. We usually say you have to have faith to believe something, to see something. I'm not saying you just don't have to have faith just to spin doubt. That's all. You don't have to have faith to believe it, just to spin doubt. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm open whichever way it comes. That kind of mind, that's what I mean. So after he told Rahula to let his meditation be like the earth, air, fire, water, space, and you can spit in the wind, and you can throw garbage on the earth, and you can throw debris in the fire, and all of that, and the elements are not offended, neither are they humiliated, neither are they what is it? Disgusted. Yes, thank you. And he broke it down that way. So approaching meditation, we don't get rid of those things in meditation. That's the preliminaries. So I'm here in the beginning. That's how the time rolls on, really. Not just sitting there doing nothing. We're like, where do I have offense arising in me? This is the time. State your claim. I'm giving myself carte blanche. Pull it up right here. What has offended me? And I start letting it scroll. And when I scroll this, okay, I see that. I'm choosing not to be offended. I'm laying down any notion of offense. That's a choice. It's a decision. And we're practicing making a decision about what we will take up and what we will lay down. And so, okay, I choose not to be upset about that. That thing did happen. No, I didn't like it, or yes, it did hurt me. But that happened. It's not happening now. If it is happening now, maybe I need to get up off the cushion and go handle my business. I need to take care of something. I need to say, this has to end. I need to say, you have to leave. I might need to say, you don't have to leave mad, but you do have to go. I might have to say, we have to come to some agreement on how we're going to walk together going forward. I may have to say, whatever I need to handle it. Meditation's not going to handle it for me. Meditation will benefit me when I've handled my business, when I've taken accountability for my life, for making my decisions. Some people want somebody else to make the decision because they just don't want to have to make it. I have to catch myself sometimes. I'm so happy I have Satima, because Satima has no problem saying no. And so when I want to say no, but I really want to say no, the first thing, I just mentioned it to Satima, and she says, I'll take care of it. And so I have to watch myself, because she could easily, you see what I mean? Taking responsibility, knowing yourself. She could easily become a scapegoat for me. Everybody would be hating on her over decisions I make. So there's a certain responsibility and accountability. I'm really trying to keep it real here now, so that you understand that we have to be that radically honest with ourselves and our propensities. Because these are the things that make us unhappy with ourselves. You know, they make us like judge ourselves and make us shirk our responsibilities and make us not be able to stand tall and to stand firm, and then try to cover it up with some spirituality or cover it up with some intellectualism or cover it up with whatever is our flavor of the day, you know. Yeah. And so it's scary confronting ourselves. I know that. But it says you don't have to be afraid. It's like just like it's the sickness that's common to man. So yours is really, sorry to inform you, is no greater than mine. Your sickness is no greater than mine. So don't see yourself as this giant, you know, like nobody knows the trouble I've seen, you know, like that kind of thing. Because it's not like that. Okay. So when we sit there, so I'm looking for offense, and they crop up one by one, and then I'm just choosing for now to just let that go for a minute. You know, sometimes, you know, you see, there's maybe some upsetness around somebody who got something and you know they didn't deserve it. Well, so what? You get things that you don't deserve to. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw sometimes. You know, and I'm not saying that it's not causing condition. I'm just saying that at the tempo or at in which things ripen, sometimes a good thing comes behind a bad action, and we're like befuddled. Well, they shouldn't have got that, but that came from some other good action whose fruit is ripening now. It just happened to ripen right after they did that thing that hurt your feelings, you know. And so we should not judge about what everything by what's happening in the present moment, or just what we see, or just what we know about a person, or just, you know. So that's why he says, quit the judging. If you're not party to the circumstance, stay out of it. You know, because we only see in part and we know in part. We can't even handle our own business, much less anybody else's. And so, you see, if you wonder how, you know, this is the part that is practical in the Buddha's teaching, that causes all the things that have us tethered and fettered and tied down and stressed out. These are the obstacles. These are the hindrances. As we cut these cords, we cut each one, then we're like free and unbounded to be, you know, exactly what we are, rather than these jailbirds tied, you know, to our perceptions and our habitual tendencies. That's it. That's about as spiritual as it gets, really, you know. But then, in a sense, it is so spiritual, because when we are loosed and set free, you know, then we find ourselves arising to the pinnacle of virtue and goodness, and that is spiritual. And then there are places to go even beyond that, beyond the ordinary appearances of virtue and goodness. And we want to go there, but we just want to leap over everything else and just get there. But he says, no, it comes incrementally, step by step. And the thing is that once we mature in something, then that falls away. It's like a stair step that every time you step on a stair, the previous stair dissolves, it disappears. You step up to the next one, and then that stair dissolves and disappears. And it's in this way we move from this shore to Nibbana. So I hope this is encouraging you to do your practice. He said in one place, do it like your hair's on fire, you know. But it's something like this. Can you see that it really is laboring to enter into the rest, to drop off all of these conditioned notions that we have about ourselves and about the world, and how it operates. And then we can, it's like trying to learn calculus when you haven't mastered your multiplication tables. I used to have difficulty learning mine. And finally I got all of them except the sevens. The sevens, it was something just so difficult about the sevens. And we all have a seven, something so difficult. And so finally my dad, he just locked me in my room. And he said, tap on the door when you know them. And I got tired of being in that room after a while, and I started working. I know my sevens front by 7, 14, 20, 28, 35, 40, 49, 56, 67, 84. I know. That's the only one I know. I can't even say my fives and my tens that fast. But those sevens, I mastered it. So it's how much it matters to you. Yeah. If you're tired of being tired and tired of being sick and tired of being down, and yeah. So establishing mindfulness in front of one. Oh no, before that, I'll take you to the next step. The next step after letting your meditation be like that, I was not, disgusted and all of that. He said, is to imbue the mind with loving kindness. And we talk about loving ourselves first, and loving somebody close to us, and then loving, somebody a little bit more distant, and then go all the way down till you get to the enemy. But I was so wicked. I didn't have time to start in that route because I probably wouldn't finish. I had to go right to the enemy. That was my practice. It's not everybody's. Everybody can't do it, but I did. I had to go right to the enemy because I just had so much ground to cover. And it worked for me, but it doesn't always work for everyone. But he gave us a way that didn't start with, like oneself or the enemy. Having to pump myself up and accept myself or accept my enemy. He just said, if you're just thinking of oneself as loving kindness itself, and letting it just flow from you. It's straight out in front of you. It's like a blast, and I kind of think of it like a water hose, and you turn on that water hose, and it goes, just goes out like that. Whoever it hits, they're down. So it just letting it, just releasing the valve. That's all. And as it bursts forth, I'm the first one that gets wet. It does hit me, but it goes on, and I'm not thinking, oh, hit me first, now you next. Oh, you get to the back of the line. It's like just, and it hits whoever's in front. And the same way, he said, in front of you. He said, behind you. He said, to either side of you. To the 4 cardinal directions. And above and below. So I just imagined this force, this power, this of compassion just exploding, but not like an atom bomb going and everything, but like just, and it's just going above and below, left and right, front and back, 4 cardinal directions. And I just feel that we all are aware of energy that we have. We feel this energy all the time. This energy like stops maybe at different points, and we feel different ways depending on where the energy is coming up and issuing forth from. You know, so in some places, like in the gut area, it may be ushering forth or issuing forth, and there's some insecurities or need for protection, you know, or come from the heart. There's love. It's coming from the throat. I can actually speak, you know, without fear. You know, it's some perception and deep seeing and some universal goodness, depending on which apertures, you know, the energy is issuing forth from. So it's an exercise we can do until we actually connect with the goodness, the natural goodness that is here. So I'd like for you to try it right now. And if you can't think of anything, like, you know, like loving kindness is about loving being kind, right? It's loving being kind. And how do you know kindness? How can you tell kindness is present? How do you experience kindness? It's not a trick question. How do you experience it? Feeling. Thank you. Yeah, you feel it. So if you cannot just bring it up yet, then think of a way that, think of something that brings it up for you. Some experience you had. Something. And when that experience comes up and the feeling co-arises with it of kindness, no, stoke it and build it. We know how to feed our upsetness. But we can feed these kinds of feeling in the same way, these pleasant feeling. There's a pleasantness. However it feels to you. For me, it feels sort of like a buttery balm or something. You know, it's just like warm honey. I feel safe. I feel cared about. I feel, yeah. But there is a physical feeling that comes with it. It makes the heart happy, and there's some merriment there with it. And when it arises, like where in the body do you feel it? So wherever you're feeling it in your body, just call that out, that place out. Nobody else has been able to arouse it? What kind of sensation? Whole body. Mm, tingling is what kind of sensation? Warm? Hmm? In the heart.
Softness in the eyes.
Mm.
General relaxation.
Good. Hmm. It's active. Very good. Hmm. Dynamic.
Just a soft breath, soft movement of belly.
So every eye is closed, and if there's anyone who has not been able to recollect kindness and um, connect with it in the body, would you raise your hand? Because I didn't hear every voice. Thank you, I saw that hand. And just sitting here thinking if we can't grasp something from the outside, we can certainly acknowledge something from the inside. And that is that no life is without worth. That is a universal law. And sometimes we have to dig deep and have gratitude on a universal level, not on a personal level, to find our place in the universe that yields the contentment and the knowing. One thing, one gift given to the world, a beautiful mind, a beautiful voice, a skill in one thing or another. We can all find something that speaks of the deep kindness of life. the kindness that has been shown by people who made it possible for Heartwood to be here to exist, that we could come and gather for this week. It's an incredible kindness. And we are the recipients of it. Think of the kindness of those who prepared our food this morning and yesterday. For whoever grew the food, for the truck drivers that transported it to this area so we could have things that don't grow this time of year on our table. For the plumber who came last week so that we'd have water. For the young man who came this morning to check our heat. There's just so many things and so many ways that people express their concern for us. And those are acts of kindness, even if they get paid for it. Then when they do a good job, that's showing their kindness. There's not a day that there's not a dozen people showing kindness towards us. If we will look and see. And if you could let this kindness that's been shown to you just touch you wherever it touches you and then move off from you. It's like catch and release. Don't hold the kindness. If you can't think of anything that anyone has done for you, something you've done for another. You gave someone a smile. You held the door for them. It can be as simple as that. Random acts of kindness are continually flowing from us and others if we have eyes to see. And it is soft and gentle, easy. And letting that feeling touch you and just waft off moving from the body. It, as much as you can generate, sending directly out in front of you, and whoever it hits. There's 4 people sitting in front of me, and I'm just sending out that loving kindness. And I'm not even really sending it to them. I'm just sending it forth. And whoever's in front of me, it hits. And I just experience it ushering forth, never returning to myself. So it's just going forward, 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 all the way out into infinity. It's just going. Just out the front. And opening up the back. And just releasing the energy of kindness. Just like a hole in your back, and it's just issuing forth. Now it's front and back. And everything in its path gets accosted by this sense of kindness and acceptance and gratitude, value. And to the left and to the right, it's like a laser beam opening up. And flowing from this never-ending fountain, it's to the northeast and the southeast, the northwest and the southwest. And coming up the body, shooting straight out of the head and down through the body, the legs, and out the feet. Wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, the medium, the short, the tall, the seen and the unseen, may all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace, those living near and those far away, those born and even those to be born, may all beings be at ease. Making this vow, I will not deceive you. I will not despise you. I will not through anger or ill will harm you. Even as a mother protects her life, her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart, I wish to cherish all living beings. Radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upward to the skies and downward to the depths, outwards and unbounded. I'm free from hatred and ill will. Having a pure heart, having clarity of vision, being free from all selfish desires. I am one who shall become skilled in goodness and know the path of peace. I shall be straightforward with you and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented, and easily satisfied. Frugal in my ways that I might share bountifully with you, peaceful and calm, wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature, and I will not do the slightest thing that the wise would reprove, but wishing in gladness and in safety, may you be at ease. May you be at peace. May you have success in your endeavors. May you be happy. May you never be separated from your happiness. And if we just relax and let this flow build and build, don't think about it. Feel. Feel it. Don't hold to your fixed views. And just arouse the energy to keep this flowing. Allowing goodness and kindness itself to arise in one's mind and heart and flow. After a while, it'll be spontaneous. You can pull it up. You can access it anytime you wish. To subdue negative thoughts and indifference. And as it's flowing, now you can take part. May I be free from enmity and danger. May I be free from mental suffering. May I take care of myself happily. May my parents and teachers, relatives and friends, fellow Dharma followers be free from enmity and danger. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Teacher, relatives, and friends, fellow Dharma farers, be free from enmity and danger. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all meditators in this compound be free from enmity and danger. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all monks in this compound, novice monks, disciples of the Buddha, may they be free from enmity and danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May our donors of the four supports be free. Be free from mental suffering and physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May our guardian devas in this place, in this dwelling, in this compound, may these guardian devas be free from enmity and danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. may they take care of themselves happily. May all beings and all breathing things, all creatures, all individuals, all personalities, beings with mind and body, may all females, all males, all noble ones, all those yet to attain sainthood, all devas, all humans, all those in the four woeful planes, be free from enmity and danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all beings be free from suffering. May whatever they have gained not be lost. All beings are owners of their own karma. In the eastern direction, the western direction, the northern direction, in the southern direction, in the southeast direction, in the northeast direction, in the northeast direction, in the southwest direction, in the direction below, in the direction above, may all beings, all breathing things, all creatures, all individuals, all beings with mind and body, may all females, all males, all noble ones, those yet to attain sainthood, all devas, all humans, all those in the four woeful planes. May they be free from enmity and danger, be free from mental suffering. May they be free from physical suffering and take care of themselves happily. May all beings be free from suffering. May whatever they have gained not be lost. All beings are owners of their own karma. As far as the highest plane of existence, to as far down as the lowest plane, in the entire universe, whatever beings that move on earth, may they be free from mental suffering, physical suffering, and danger. As far as the highest plane of existence, to as far down as the lowest plane in the entire universe. Whatever beings move on water, may they be free of mental suffering and enmity, free from physical suffering and danger. As far as the highest plane of existence to as far down as the lowest plane in the entire universe. Whatever beings that move in air, may they be free of mental suffering and enmity and from physical danger. So the Buddha gave this discourse on loving kindness because he knows that whatever we think and ponder on, the mind will go in that direction. And so if you're struggling in trying to bring enough sense of kindness and ease to yourself or to others, just Google the Metta Sutta and just read it aloud to oneself over and over and over and over. And it will get into the mind, and the mind will start leaning that way. And as you start to feel with it, you could just send it out indiscriminately. You don't have to pick a person. Just send it out. And after a while, this will get stronger and stronger in you. And then you can pull it up at the time that you need it, like just when you get ready to knock somebody out. You know, like you just, that old vampire Panyawadi wants to rise up, and the mind will just leave her and just flop right over to the may all beings be free from enmity and danger. And that's how we train. This is a training. Cover ourselves with this kind of kindness, with this kind of beauty. Cover ourselves with this kind of love. All the rest of the work will be easy. We will lose our fear of people. We will lose our sense of inadequacy and insufficiency. We will lose our critical and criticizing bent. We don't have to try to put them away. All we have to do is get this in ourselves in abundance, and it will uproot